Thank you. Hi, welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Bethlehem Zoning Hearing Board. My name is Paige Van Wert, and I'll be serving as chairman. Serving tonight are Danielle Joseph and Sharon Wiles Young. Our zoning officer and tonight's secretary is Dave Taylor. Our solicitor tonight is attorney Eric Schock, and our stenographer is Moira Evans. First, we'd like to swear in any members of the audience who might have testimony, questions, or comment. You can just stand up and be sworn in. It's for all of them tonight.
All of them.
Uh-huh.
Raise your right hand. You do swear or affirm that the testimony which you shall give in the matter now before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You do so swear or affirm?
Thank you. Our first item tonight is 2545 Shanersville Road.
2545 Shanersville Road, the appeal of Lehigh Valley Hospital Incorporated for a special exception to permit extension of a non-conforming wall signage in connection with an emergency department expansion, or alternatively, a variance to permit 241.1 square feet of wall signage on the east elevation, 116 square feet on the south elevation, where only 40 square feet per wall is permitted. Sections 1302.91, 1305.01C, 1320.04N, 1320.08A14, 1323.04, 1325.06, 1325.07, and all associated variances and special exceptions and interpretations.
Thank you. Attorney Schock, do you have any issues or anything before we proceed?
No.
Okay, if you'd like to start.
All right, thank you very much, members of the board. I first have.
Oh, I forgot to ask you about posting. My
Sure.
bad. Was the property, if and when was the property posted with the yellow placard?
Yes, the property was posted with the yellow placard. I believe, sorry, Dave, the zoning officer, I believe you were made aware when that posting did in fact occur.
Yes, there's a certificate I think I gave to Mr. Shah,
Did you give it to me? All right.
but I can,
Oh, here it is. June 15th, which I think easily exceeds 7 days.
yes.
And I'm not that good at math, but
Thank you.
Good.
First, I have Kara Spanswick on behalf of the network. Just Kara, can you introduce yourself to
You
the
know what,
board?
sorry to
Sorry,
interrupt.
that's
Can I just want to clarify one thing before we get
Sure.
going, based on the application and then the narrative.
Yes.
The relief is for a variance, and then you said the nonconformity. There was variance relief granted for other signs. Is the contention that this is a sign that was on a facade for which we didn't get the relief and it exceeds the 40 already?
So that is correct. So my
Okay.
understanding is the signage that the emergency room signage, because when we did a right to know request, there's nothing that was specifically saw that signage was approved, whatever reason it was.
There's no record if anyone, but,
Ex-
and it's a different facade than the ones where relief was granted to exceed 40 back in the 2019 decision.
Correct. Yes. So
Okay, now I
we're taking the
understand.
interpretation that signage is prior non-conforming. We're expanding the non-conformity for that signage.
Okay,
Correct.
got it.
All right. Great.
Thanks. Sorry to
Thanks.
interrupt.
No problem. Go ahead. Just introduce yourself to the board, please.
Hi, I'm Kara Spanswick. I'm the Vice President of Operations for the Muhlenberg Hospital.
And you are employed by the Health Network, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I have in front of you Exhibit A1. Can you just please tell the board what this document is?
The successful merger with Lehigh Valley Hospital and is this the Jefferson one?
No. So
Oh,
is this
sorry.
a deed for the property?
Oh, yes, this is the deed for the property.
Okay. And the property is in the name of Lehigh Valley Hospital. Is that
Yes,
correct?
correct.
And just quickly tell the board, what is the relationship between Lehigh Valley Hospital and Jefferson?
Yep, Lehigh Valley Hospital is a subsidiary of Jefferson Health.
And can you describe for the board ultimately the functions of your job?
Yep, I oversee all of the day-to-day operations for the Muhlenberg Hospital, making sure that we're able to function, keep the doors open, take care of patients safely.
Okay, so you would say you're very familiar with this Muhlenberg property.
Yes,
And you're also familiar with the surrounding neighborhood, is that correct?
yes, correct.
I would like you just to turn to the next page in the exhibit package. Exhibit A2. And the board, I apologize, the exhibit's upside down, so just bear with me on that for purposes of the north, south, east, and west. But is this an overhead of the health network parcel?
Yes, it is.
And this is a large site, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. What can you describe uses are to the north of the property?
To the north of the property is commercial and industrial.
Okay. What about to the south?
Also commercial and industrial.
And to the east of the property?
The east is residential on the other side.
And then that's for, okay, yes. And then there's some commercial before
There's
you
a
get
little
into
commercial
residential?
and then residential, yes.
Okay. And then to the west?
So the west is the Route 378 and then it's residential as well.
Okay, so that major highway borders that residential neighborhood.
Yes.
Can you tell the board how long this property's been used as a hospital by the health network?
Yep. It's been used for 65 years.
And what kind of uses are there at the facility?
So we have emergency care. We're a trauma center. We have specialty care for orthopedics. We have operating rooms, inpatient rehab. We have a long-term acute care facility. We provide full service hospital operations.
And I mean, we're specifically here for the emergency department. Is that emergency department 24 hours?
Yes, 24/7.
And why are we here this evening with regards to the emergency department? Can you tell the board what the health network is doing at the site?
Yes, so we're expanding our emergency department to a larger footprint. We demolished an existing building, the 2597 building, and we have built over that with a new emergency department. And then there's additionally a medical surgical unit in that building as well to better meet the needs of the community.
Okay. And is this new emergency building, is that within the facility or is it immediately abutting any commercial roads?
It is within the footprint of the existing facility and it's up against Shanersville Road.
Okay. And then the existing emergency center now it doesn't abut Shanersville Road.
Correct. It's more internal to the hospital.
Okay. Is there also some internal wayfinding being revised inside the area?
Yes, to assure that patients can find our emergency room, our north entrance and our south entrance, we are doing both internal and external wayfinding and patient simulations.
Okay. And with regards to the signage that exists now, could you tell the board some of the issues that you have been made aware of with regards to the existing emergency signage?
Yeah, we unfortunately somewhat regularly have patients that are not able to determine which door is for the emergency room. So we've had to redo training and we have quarterly trainings for our front desk at our north and our south entrances to assure that they know what to do if a patient in medical distress arrives and how to get them safely to the emergency room. There's 3 main entrances and unfortunately patients don't always get it right.
And those main entrances that's a walk up for emergent patients where the ambulances are supposed to pull in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's safe to say that the wayfinding and signage, especially for an emergency department, is very critical to the health network and for the patients.
Yes, especially in emergency medicine, minutes are crucial, and we need to assure that patients are getting to us quickly so that we can deliver safe care.
And you are aware of the signage. I'm going to go through the signage specifically, but you're aware of the signage that we're proposing here this evening?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that the signage that we're proposing is appropriate for this area?
Yes, I think it'll help people identify the correct entrances and where the emergency department is in relation to the rest of the hospital.
Do you think it's consistent with the majority of the other signage, other health network signage at the property?
Yes.
And then is the hospital prepared to maintain that proposed signage in a professional manner
Yes.
and consistent with the character of the
Yes.
campus?
Yep.
I have nothing else further for her. I just wanted to provide the background for the need. And then I have Ed Reed on behalf of Reed Signs to talk about that signage specifically in the details. I just wanted to allow if the board had any questions for Ms. Spanswick now.
Does the board have any questions?
Not at this time, no.
I have a couple. If I could.
Okay.
Yeah. First one is, could you spell your name? If you did, I missed it.
I did not. It's Spanswick,
Thank you. And there was a question about the existing ER does not extend out to Shanersville, but this building will extend out to Shanersville?
Yes.
Does it change the actual wayfinding to get to the entrance of this? In other words, so it's not even going to be the same place anymore?
No.
Gotcha. Okay. That's all I had.
Mr. Taylor, did you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Is there any members of the audience who have any questions for this witness? Nope. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Reed, go ahead and introduce yourself to the board, please.
My name is Edward Reed. That's R-E-E-D. I'm the owner of Reed Sign Company. That's it.
Mr. Reed, was Reed Sign Company retained to design and prepare plans for this proposed signage at the facility?
Yes,
To your understanding, the campus itself is close to 30 acres, is that correct?
that's correct.
So as a part of this engagement from the Health Network, have you familiarized yourself with the City of Bethlehem zoning ordinance and signage?
Yes, I have.
Are you also familiar with other zoning ordinances in the Lehigh Valley
Yes,
as it pertains to signage?
yes.
So can you just advise to the board what the statute, what the ordinance says with regards to wall signage for institutional uses?
The ordinance, from my understanding, allows a 40 square foot sign.
Okay. And I want to turn you over to Exhibit A3 in the package, if you don't mind. So can you please just describe to the board the emergency and ambulance signs that are at the bottom of this exhibit, please?
Yes, the emergency signs on the lower left of the page, internally illuminated signs, emergency letters light white at night, the background lights red, and the ambulance would be a similar construction, internally illuminated letters.
Okay. And these are the existing emergency room signage on the existing emergency room building.
That's correct.
Okay. And these are the signs that we are looking to replace. Is that correct?
Two of the signs we're looking to replace are these, yes.
Okay. And I also want to note above, there's also showing signage, logo signage at the top. Can you explain to the board what that signage is and why we're showing it?
I don't think they have that exhibit. Do they have?
They do. It's
Oh,
in
they
their
do?
exhibit package. Yeah.
I have it. I just don't have it for the
that's
screen.
fine, that's fine. So there's a building that was, I guess they raised the building. It was 2597 building. That had two Lehigh Valley logos on it that measured 105 square feet combined. And then it also had a sign on the front that said 2597 Medical Office Building. That's approximately 40 square feet. So what that exhibit is illustrating is that approximately on that building, 2597, approximately 150 square foot was removed with the building being demolished.
So that signage that was there, that was pre-existing, that building's been demolished, that signage is no longer there.
Correct.
Okay. And that signage was approximately 58 square feet?
With the logos is 105 square feet with two of them. And there's a 2597 medical office building, approximately 40 square feet. So about 145 square foot of signs was on that building.
So this existing, with regards to the emergency room signage, the total of those two signs exceeds the 40 square feet under the ordinance.
Correct.
Okay. So I'd like to turn you over to Exhibit A4. Can you describe for the board what this exhibit represents?
A4 represents the east elevation of the new addition.
And this is for the emergency department.
This is for the emergency department, correct?
Okay. And when we're seeing east elevation, does what we see here is what somebody would be able to see from Shanersville Road?
Yes, this building parallels Shanersville Road. So as you're traveling north or south on Shanersville, you would see this elevation of the building.
And the signage that's going to be facing this side, that is, there's one sign that shows emergency.
Correct?
Okay. There's one that it's specifically an emergency and trauma center,
That's correct.
and then just two other logo signage for the health network. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If I could have you turn over to Exhibit A5, can you tell the board what that represents?
This is the south elevation of the new building. This faces Westgate, and this has a logo sign on the building that's 116 square feet.
And with regards to access to the facility, the access, do you know how many access points there are for this property off of Shanersville Road?
Off of Shanersville, there's, well, I guess technically one. There's 2 accesses off of Westgate, I believe.
So this signage that faces for Jefferson Health, this faces the other entrance to where they would access.
Yes,
So the signage being proposed would allow somebody driving Shanersville Road to both, one, know where the emergency center is off of Shanersville Road, and when entering off of Westgate, also be able to find that building.
that's correct.
All right. Just want you to turn over to Exhibit A5. So does this exhibit show details of the actual emergency signage, the size and everything else? Can you describe that for the board, please? A6, I'm sorry.
Yes, this shows the construction of the emergency and the emergency trauma center sign.
Okay, how large is the emergency sign proposed now?
The proposed emergency sign, the emergency letters are 35 square feet and they're on a red backer that does not light.
Okay, so the only portion of that sign that's internally illuminated is the lettering.
Yes,
Is that lettering going to be flashing?
no,
Or is it static?
static, white.
Would they have the opportunity to control that lighting as well?
Well, yes, but you'd want it on all night long.
Correct, because it's a 24 hours, but they
Right.
have the ability to control it
Yes.
if need be. With regards to the emergency and trauma center size, what would be the size of that sign?
That's 14.8 square feet. Again, it's a emergency and trauma center internally illuminated letters. They would illuminate white. They're on a blue, non-illuminated background.
Okay, so it's the same as the emergency where only the letters are internally illuminated.
That's correct.
Those are static as well, correct?
Yes.
And then with the backing, could you, for both the emergency and the trauma center signage, can you tell the board how the square footage of those two signs, including the backing?
Yes. The emergency sign, including the background, is 76 square feet, and the emergency and trauma sign, including the background, is 41 square feet.
And then I also wanted to turn you over to Exhibit A7. This is the Jefferson Health signage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you advise, are these also internally illuminated?
These are internally illuminated as well. I will note that they internally illuminate white. So the gradients, the blue, they will be white signs at night.
Okay. So while they're represented blue here, when they're shining, they're going to be shined white.
Correct.
And then for purposes of signage, can you just describe to the board the size of the proposed signage?
Sign C on that page is the J logo, 75.3 square feet. And the Jefferson Health, the logo and the lettering is 116 square feet.
And is, all right. And then I just want you to switch over then to Exhibit A8. So you prepared this to show the location of each proposed signage that we went through. Is that correct?
Correct. And it also shows in red, the red shape, where the, how the building is, in relation to Shonersville and Westgate.
Okay, so just to confirm then, so signs A through D, which would be the emergency sign, the emergency trauma sign, the J logo, and the full Jefferson logo all face along Shanersville Road.
That's correct.
And then showing the access, what I believe is then that turn from Shanersville to Westgate, which then allows for another turn into the health network from the Westgate side. That is where that Jefferson E logo would be facing.
That's the logo in Jefferson Health.
Correct.
Yes.
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 So it would also serve the purpose of, I would say, people driving, I guess that would be northwestbound off of Shanersville Road. They would be able to see where that emergency center was coming from that direction as well before they reached Westgate.
Yes. Coming northbound. That's correct.
So in your professional opinion, is the proposed signage the minimum necessary to adequately identify this new emergency center and direct patients to that facility?
Yes.
Given the scale of the hospital, this new hospital building, and the nature of the institutional use, would limiting the hospital to the 40 square feet of wall signage be adequate?
No.
Does the proposed signage need to be visible from the public roadway to effectively guide patients?
Yes.
Will the signage create any glare, light trespass, or visual nuisance to adjacent properties?
No.
Do you see it causing any problems with any of the residential neighborhoods which exist to the west and east?
I don't.
In your professional opinion, will the proposed signage interfere with the use and enjoyment of any surrounding properties?
No.
And in your opinion, if the request approved, be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the general public or neighborhood?
It would not.
In your opinion, is this signage out of the ordinary for this area along Shanersville Road?
No.
One thing I omitted to ask you that I would like to ask you. So do you know how large this building is in general?
How many square feet?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that.
Do you know how many, the wall facing?
Yeah, the wall face. I did do a calculation of the wall face. The signage on the south wall, let me look at my numbers real quick here. If we calculated the square footage of the wall where the Jefferson Health is on the south wall, the signage is about 1.3% of that facade. And, a lot of times we find it's very common, 5 to 10% of township allows. So it's 1.5% of the wall facade. And then the wall facade facing Shonersville Road, we're right around 2% of that wall face is signage. So if that's helpful.
So this is not a situation where the signage we're requesting is taking up all of the wall facing of the buildings.
No.
I have nothing else for Mr. Reed if the board or the solicitor do.
Do you have any questions?
I have one clarification and question. So the emergency signs are on the Shanersville Road side, and there's no access to the building, their entrance or exit at that point, right?
Not at the point of this building. They'd have to go up to the light that's north of the hospital.
Okay. So either north or no to go on Westgate.
There's no access off of Shonersville
Okay.
at that building.
So you didn't see a need for emergency on the south side of the building then? Right.
Well, to not, we want to keep as little confusion as possible that the entrance is, in fact, where the emergency sign is.
Oh, okay, but it's not accessible from Shanersville. But I guess that's what I'm
Well, it will be,
trying to clear.
yes, it will be accessible and it will be addressed on the wayfinding signs internal on the
Okay.
campus.
Okay. I was just checking
Yes.
this.
It's accessible from Westgate, and it's also, the emergency department is accessible Westgate and Shonersville Road. But you're going to have to use the ring road inside, and there will be emergency designations.
That
on-
will be the
Yes,
internal signs
yes.
once you make it to
Yes.
the north. Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? I have a few. All of my questions pertain to the Jefferson signs, not the emergency sign. You can make the emergency sign as big as you want, as far as I'm concerned. So how tall is this building in relation to the previous building?
I would just be like kind of ballparking it. I would say it's maybe 20 feet higher
Because
than when you say the previous building, you're talking about that 2597 building we were
Mhm.
talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, probably 20 feet higher. Yeah, 2 floors.
Okay, because I am concerned about the spillover light into the neighborhood, both the neighborhood to the east. The commercial buildings that are in front of the neighborhood to the east on the east side of Shanerville are 1 story and low. And I am worried about how that's going to impact that neighborhood. And there's also a new condo community just to the west of the Weiss markets. And I am just concerned about the amount of light we're throwing into the sky. Is it absolutely necessary to be this big? We've lost, you said about 116 square feet of the 2 Lehigh Valley signs. And what we're proposing is 3 times as much, not inclusive of the emergency room signs. So it's taller, it's more, and it's white, which is also kind of a glaring thing as opposed to a blue or a more subtle green. I have concerns about the amount of light we're throwing out into the atmosphere, but also into those homes who I haven't seen any studies of are. I mean, how is that going to impact all those people who are living in those neighborhoods?
Oh, so to answer that question, there would be no way to actually measure the light from those homes. It's not measurable. You would have way more light coming out of the windows of the hospital than you would the signs. The signs put off. It's not even measurable from the distances you're talking about. The light.
But where'd the person who made the signs for the sides of the new Martin Tower, Lehigh Valley
Did I
buildings?
make? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we talked a lot about how those signs need to be turned off at midnight. I don't remember the timing of what we said, but we turned them off because we were worried that they were so tall that they were going to throw light down into the neighborhoods. So, I mean, we had concerns then about it, and we came up with a plan, if I'm correct, for how to stop that. And those weren't bright white lights that were, really big.
I'm sorry, they weren't.
They
white?
weren't bright white. I think
Yeah, they're white.
They're channel lit, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're white. Same
But,
thing.
But they project as a color, I think, don't they?
The lighting that we used on the 2 buildings that
Uh-huh.
you're referring to, the Women's Center and
Yep.
the Health Center,
Right.
identical in terms of how they're lit.
So what you're trying, I guess I want to understand this really, is
Yeah.
you're saying they're a white light bulb inside
Yes.
projecting into a colored sign that lights
Right.
up. So this is going to be colored blue?
No. Well, the faces of these signs are blue during the day
Uh-huh.
and it will light white at night.
Okay.
And you're correct, there are white lights in it. And this signage is going to be identical in construction, channel letters,
Mhm.
and lighting as what you have at what the property you're referencing on 8th Avenue.
And I mean, I understand that those are more day use buildings, although I think there's a 24-hour like dock in the box thing on 8th Avenue. So perhaps it's better, it's more tolerable to turn those off at midnight for the neighbors, so they don't have to look at that all shining into their bedroom all the time. I don't know. I don't know. This is a hospital and people need to know there's a hospital there. So I'm struggling with how big and bright these are replacing what was there before. I'm just,
I mean,
Putting it out there, I'm
they
struggling with
they
it.
glow. I would agree with you that they glow. I would not agree with you that they project light into the atmosphere. You know what I mean? They do glow. The faces of them are acrylic.
Mhm.
So when you put light, well, sort of like, these lights up here, you put acrylic in front of it, the acrylic glows. But it's not even measurable, the amount of light pollution, if we want to call it that,
Mhm.
that come off of the signs. I've testified
Okay.
before many boards, and they're all in agreement that when you're 200 feet away from these, you can't even measure the light that's being projected off the signs.
Can I just interject
Yeah.
one question? So is, on those signs, is it both the logo and the lettering that has that kind of lighting? Or is
Yes.
it just the letters?
Yes,
Okay, so.
Logo
so-
and
lettering,
lettering.
okay.
will glow white.
Will go white, okay.
And because I don't think there was a sign projecting south in before, right?
There wasn't the 2597 building.
Oh, so one of those was south and one of those was east?
One was south and one was north.
Oh,
It is on one of the illustrations that you have in your packet.
Can we clarify that? Because I had the question in here, because I couldn't figure out the same question that the chair had. So I have a question. Can you tell us where those facades are on I think it was A2 or A3?
It was A3.
A3.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I'm looking at these, which directions were these facades
Sure. I
facing?
would say if I believe he has Google Maps, if he goes to the street view,
Oh, I
you would
see.
be able to see that along Shanersville Road, the one that's on
I
the
see.
left photo
I see, yeah.
faces down towards, I guess it's 22, the highway entrance.
No,
and the
roughly
other-
north, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay,
North.
so one of those is north
And one south.
and one south. And then which facade were emergency and ambulance on?
East.
Those face Shanersville like they will now. Perfect.
Oh,
Thanks.
you
Oh.
mean previous?
Previously, yeah,
Previously, they faced north.
north, okay.
Yes.
The building is just inside.
Because the
health
building was so
facility.
far away from Shanersville.
Correct.
Okay. So that was north before. Got it.
So,
Thank you.
so I believe David's got the illustration there showing kind of to the left there a little further. Yeah. So there's one of the Lehigh Valley logos that faced north on that building. There's a twin to that on the opposite side that faces south.
I got it.
And then what I can see but almost not read was the
Oh, I'm sorry.
25. No, I meant it's hard to read on the screen. The other thing was along the east side, 25, whatever building you said before, right?
2597 medical office building.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the other one that faced south. So that's 54 square feet. That's that sign right there. And we're proposing 116. So
Can I ask you this? What is actually, how much is lit? So when you measure that 116,
yes,
is that the rectangle that's around those?
it's the rectangle around the J and the rectangle around the Jefferson Health. Yes, it's
Okay.
way less than that. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not 116 square feet of illuminated surface.
I guess my question is, when you look at the Lehigh Valley one that was there, it's kind of denser, right?
Right.
And you measure around it. Was that all lit? And then on this one, it's bigger sign because the name Jefferson Health obviously is big, but it's only the Jefferson Health part that is lit because it's not a box that is lit.
yeah, a fraction of 116 square feet, probably
Right.
40. You know,
Yeah.
if you deducted all the
About
negative
40.
area.
Okay.
So but what I guess my point is we're taking 116 square feet of Lehigh Valley signage and replacing it with 300 and something square feet of Jefferson signage. And I just want to make sure that this was an office building that you tore down, right? Right. So the function of the building has changed. It may be appropriate to have more vigorous signage indicating that this is a hospital versus an office building. I mean, I'm not irrational. I just want to make sure that the impact of this signage on the neighbors is taken into account because people live there. Little kids have their bedroom windows facing that way, and it can make a difference in the quality of life in the people who live in those neighborhoods. I just want to make sure we've understood that this is 2 stories taller. It's way bigger, and I think it should be the least that it should be to get the point across that it's a hospital, but not to harm the neighborhood.
Well, just to your point, the Lehigh Valley logo that was there was 54 square feet. The Jefferson J is 28 square feet. So it's what? No. 2/3 of the size of it. So now we're just talking about Jefferson Health. The letters are 2'6". It's not a big sign. The lettering size is 2'6". The letter strokes are like 5 inches. That's the only place that's light. You know what I mean? Like the stroke itself, the 5-inch letters are lighting. It's immeasurable I understand your point, but
I
I'm
wish I could
just,
see it. I wish I could see what it looked like lit up at nighttime, but it's okay. We're not there right now. So I've manipulated you enough here.
And I mean, I can certainly ask Kara if she's aware of any, with the existing signage that's there now, if she's aware of any neighbor complaints with the brightness of the signs that are
Well-
there, if that's helpful.
No, that's okay. I'm pretty familiar with that whole neighborhood, and that's okay. I think we put a lot of consideration into the impact at Tower Place, and I just want to make sure we're giving this the same consideration, even though the function is different than Tower Place.
I think at the tower, they have that uplighting as well, which is what is colored and illuminated, and that's different than just the signage request here. We don't plan to have the same extensive uplighting to display the building.
Okay. Okay. Did you have any?
No, that was it. I just think one of the facades.
Okay. And is that the last witness that you have?
Yes, I have no further witnesses.
Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to ask questions of the witness? Is there anyone who'd like to make a statement? So do you have any closing remarks?
I do not.
Okay. Shall we go into
Yep.
executive session?
Coming back up.
Would one of the members of the board like to make a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to deny the special exception of nonconformity and grant the variance of the signage as it was submitted, exactly as it was submitted.
Second?
Ms. Wiles Young,
Yes.
Ms. Joseph,
Yes.
Dr. Van Wert.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Okay. We're going to move on to the second agenda item, 623 Shields.
623 Shield Street. Appeal of Robert Dandy for a use variance and dimensional variances. Lot area 1,600 square feet proposed, 4,000 square feet required. Side yard 3 feet proposed, 4 feet required. Rear yard 4.55 proposed, 20 feet required, to convert a legally non-conforming private garage to a new single-family detached dwelling on fronting on an alley. Sections 1302.05, 1306.01A4, 1323.07, and 1325.07, all associated variances, special exceptions, and interpretations.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Before we get started,
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us if and when the property was posted with the yellow placard?
Yes, the property was posted. I have a picture of that, but it was immediately after. Take a look here. I have a picture when we did it. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, take your time.
So yes,
We just asked them about the posting.
Were you sworn in first?
I was not sworn in.
Oh, thank you.
But I should you?
We can swear you in before that. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. So looking here, I believe, yes, I have a photo. It was, here was the posting, and that was done on, take a look here. As to the date that Peter sent this to me. This is the photo that I'm looking for. I'm just looking for the date to confirm for you. That I got it posted, but it was within a timely manner. I do recall.
Was it posted the same day you picked it up?
Yes, sir.
I can testify it was picked up
Thank you.
the Wednesday prior.
Thanks.
The Wednesday prior.
Thanks, everybody.
If I could take 1 second, can I ask, are you interested parties, or are you actually in objection? Okay, right, but I just want to find out, are you opposing it? Okay. So you're
Okay.
objectors. Thanks.
That's fine.
Just so you know, yes, the sign is posted. We don't enter from that end of the property. We're between Shield and
Okay.
we don't use that as an entrance.
Okay.
We received notice Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I think they only go out a week in advance, right?
But I know, yeah, they go out a week and a half ahead of time.
So that's the mail, unfortunately.
The letter, the envelope says date. We received it on Saturday.
Okay. You made it here, though,
That's
so
right.
that's what counts.
Here.
That's because I'm a 45-year contract.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
So what further information would you like regarding this? So
You need
this.
to present your case.
I will. So this is a standalone garage on a lot off of Shield Street. It is currently a 3-car garage, and the conversion would be in conforming with the general charge to provide additional dwelling units in all jurisdictions, Pennsylvania and otherwise. Yeah, you got it right there. Would be basically to put a dwelling above the dwelling above the current structure that's in place, maintaining the 2-car garage space and such, and building the structure as depicted there on the plan. And I can have this, and if you'd like, I can give this to the opposing parties if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
would
that
want to
would
take a
be-
look at that.
Give
If
them-
that would be helpful. You have a copy? Okay, that's great. So with regard to that, that's the proposed plan. It would make sense. It certainly doesn't decrease parking in any way, shape, or form, and is in conformance with what's going on. So
we must maintain decorum, please. Thank you. Please, just you'll have a turn. Okay, go ahead.
and that's my case for that. All we're asking for are very simple dimensional variances in that regard, and
Well,
spatial.
All right, just so we get some information, is the board okay if I ask some
Yes,
questions?
yes.
Okay, so what is the size of the lot?
The current size of the lot, I believe, is 1,600 square feet currently.
And in what zoning district are you located?
High density residential.
Okay, so is that the RT? Dave?
RT
Okay.
zoning district.
RT zoning district, okay. And what is the minimum lot size for one house in that
I
district?
believe Mr. Taylor had said there that it was 4,000 square feet.
So that's 4,000.
Sure.
So this lot will then, with the addition of this, would have 2 units on it.
No, it would just be one single unit with a garage on.
So this is on a separate lot than a house?
Yes.
Okay. So
And there's no increase in impervious surface. There's no increase in
that's what I wasn't
footprint.
clear on.
Yeah.
is-
No, that's
This
fine.
is an individual lot with just a garage sitting on it now.
Correct.
Correct. And attorney, the city solicitor had previously determined that this was a
Standalone
separate,
lot. Okay, so
a
we're-
standalone
we're
lot.
past
Yes.
that issue.
Yes.
Because
Oh, yeah.
normally you can't have an accessory use on a lot without a principal use. That's why, but the solicitor said this is a non-conforming standalone lot with that accessory building on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take that as a fact.
Yeah, and we work with Mr. Deschler. Mr. Taylor and I inquired
No,
intently with regard to this to make sure that we weren't just, walking into a problem.
yeah, no problem. The city solicitor determined. We'll just take that as testimony so the
Yeah.
board can consider that. Determined that use of lot is non-conforming because it's actually use of lot is existing non-conforming. Okay. And are all of the dimensions then with regard to the side yard and rear yard, those are because those also exist? No, you're not proposing to change those.
No, there's no change in footprint. There's no change in the plan as proposed here really simply puts a floor and a half, I believe, above the current structure. It's actually ghosted in there, I believe. Especially on the side plan view, you can see that's all that's being added on top of it.
What is the use of the garage? In other words, I assume
Storage.
storage for a neighbor, for someone that lives adjacent, or
Storage. There's a young man who is storing some stuff there. Those cars, I don't know whose those belong to. They shouldn't be there. I've had the police come by a number of times, and I believe that if someone is actively living there, that would help prevent the illegal parking that's going on my lot, which is unbelievable. The frequency with which that's done. None of those vehicles on there are mine.
not yet? Okay. Does the board have any questions? then?
You weren't going to ask any more questions to help pull some stuff.
I have a question.
I
have-
can't.
Sure, whatever. I'm open to
So
questions.
the access to the
Yeah.
it's 3 garages here? Or?
Well, technically,
I
it's
mean,
one
for
large
space.
two. Yes, that's a good question. So technically, it's a 2-car garage door on the right, and then 1 car on the left. The curb cutout is already there. The entire length of the entire length. That's pre-existing in that regard.
So that would be the access then to pull in
Yeah.
there from.
Yeah, to pull in and to pull out.
Okay. And then the footprint is basically going up. It's not going.
Yeah, there's no expansion of the footprint whatsoever, and in fact, there's no expansion of the impervious surface. There's no increase in any of that.
What's behind the garage?
Behind the garage, that's a good question. So behind the garage, Mr. Taylor, if you could, behind the garage is a property on Hayes Street. I think it's 621 Hayes. It's just a big yard, 2 big yards actually. Oh no, I think it's a big yard of the same place there. So it doesn't.
Where are you proposing that they park? The folks that will.
Oh,
be-
so they could park in the existing, that we're retaining the 2-car garage there. And they could park on the front where people are illegally parking, you know.
And then they'll get in. Where are they? I'm
So
sorry.
then the
if you can
one
explain
car,
where they'll
that's a
get
good
in.
question. Yeah. So the one bay is actually being used, the one car bay is being used for a stairwell. And such to get up to the first living floor, which is above that. And then, you know, we're retaining the 2-car parking as is there. So, and such. And there's also, it's on a slope lot. So there's a walkout like basement already that's in the back and such. So it would seem to be a common sense use for it.
Is this in the student housing overlay district?
I don't know. I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I think, isn't it Hayes Street where it stops, the overlay?
Do you know?
Mr. Taylor would know.
Is this in the student housing overlay district?
This is not in the overlay.
Yeah, I didn't
district.
think so. And that certainly wasn't my intention. It would be just be for a family.
And then you will need to, so this is just a garage, so there's no plumbing and there's no sewer, there's no toilets or anything currently in there. So you're going to need to tap into.
Correct. I would have to put a lateral in. I've talked with UGI about piping gas service in. There is electric. It does have its own separate electric with its own meter already and such. So we put that in. That was modernized. PPL put that in maybe, it was over 5 years ago, but they put that in.
Since this is a non-conforming use, is there parking requirements that would come into play for any approval if we were, like, what are the parking
Well,
requirements?
the
for a
parking
non-conforming-
requirements for a single family dwelling,
Mhm.
which this is what this would be, whether it's 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, would be 2 off-street parking spaces.
Okay.
Which he would have in the
Which you would
garage.
have in
Yeah, in the garage, plus whatever's in the front that people are using.
And this garage, does it occupy the exact? The
No,
whole
not
footprint
the
of
entire
lot?
footprint. No. Again, Mr. Taylor, if I could rely upon you again, you've been quite helpful. The top
I
view,
see it.
maybe.
This one shows it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. With regard to that. No, it does not encompass the entire amount. There's a little bit of a side area, a little bit of a back area.
And you're going to tear down the whole garage and build a
No.
new building?
No, my intention
the
is to
top off?
retain as much of it as possible. It's all cinder block and such. Believe it has excellent structural integrity. It's been there a long while.
How tall is your proposed structure compared to the height of the existing neighborhood
It
building?
conforms with so that's a good question. The new height span is approximately 16 feet higher. It's 2.5 stories, but that would conform with everything that's in the street. There are similar buildings to this on Shield Street already, on the opposite side and such. That's one there, but that fronts on to Hayes Street.
Mhm.
And then on the opposite side on Shields, up the street is, yeah, up just a little, just down a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit too far. But there, again, it would be very similar in height to what you have there on Shields. Very similar, in fact. So it'd be conforming in terms of building line down the street. Like that. There you go. I forget which address it is. 643, is it, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah.
Very similar to that, in fact. Except even more space unless the red brick part is there. I don't know. Or the red brick is part of that. I don't know, but it'd be almost identical to that.
How did you come to acquire this lot individually?
So it was I picked it up as part of a sale, I believe, from the Bednar family at the time. I picked it up in combination with another property of theirs. And I picked up the lots behind there on Ridge via a repository sale.
So do you own adjacent lots to this?
I own not adjacent, no. Across Shields, I do. At 624 Shields and 620 and 622 Ridge, which we had previously gotten approved for very similar structures as to this.
That was one of the issues discussed with Solicitor Deschler.
All right. Here we are. So we've asked all our questions.
Yeah, so I would.
Are there any other questions you want to
You-
talk to?
So
Yeah.
this is for questions.
At
They're
this
not
time.
for statements. You'll have an opportunity to make a statement after the questioning period. Would anyone like to come and ask the witness questions?
You can ask him questions now.
About the project.
Yeah.
You can come up to here and identify yourself by name, please, and your address.
To the-
Come to the podium.
There'll be 6 people here. Okay. I'm 627. I'm the adjacent. These are
627.
very old. These are very old
627 and
pictures.
hold on. 627 and what street?
Hayes.
Hayes. Okay.
And I own 627 Shield.
Okay. You own 627 Hayes
I own the whole lot.
and
40
627 Shields.
feet by 140.
And did you give your name? I'm sorry.
It's Edwin Erickson.
Edwin. Can you spell the last name?
Erickson.
So and you own 627 Shields.
Hayes, I believe.
Oh, Hayes.
I have the two numbers are the same.
Oh, Hayes and
Shields,
Shields.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have questions for the witness?
Yeah, the question is, that building there was built illegally. There was a big to-do about that after it.
Is
The-
this
the
a
ju-
question for him, though? You can make your statement later, but this is just for questions. If you have any
Well,
questions
that
about
hasn't
what he
been
said.
inspected. It can't go up that high.
Well, is that a
That's-
question for him?
That's one of the questions. The footers were never inspected. I happen to be a professional.
I understand that, but you're still not asking a question. So this is for questions of the witness right now.
Do you have an engineer?
No, but I mean, as part of the building permit, when we
Are
pulled,
those blueprints?
these were done by Galc Architects in
Are they
Allentown.
engineer approved?
Not as of yet, no, but we would do that through
I can draw it on my computer in an hour and a half.
but then I'll hire you next time.
Okay.
But my point is that any of this would be inspected as part of the building permit. We're simply, I don't want to get in the middle of whatever. But we're just seeing if this
I
use.
guess what else? Yeah. This.
I have a document.
Okay. Can I just finish a second, sir? Yeah. So this meeting, it pertains to whether he can do the use or not.
You can't.
Hold on. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
And the board needs to decide that whether he can construct something to code would come after if the board said he was allowed to proceed. So you typically don't need engineered building plans for a zoning board. You just need to show what you're going to do.
But you do have to show that you own that property.
And he is listed on the assessment, Robert Dandy.
Yes, sir. That's me.
And he has the deed?
The
I
deed-
did not bring the deed, but we
Because
could
I
pull it
have
up.
the deed. So
Right. Understood.
Well, is there a
the
deed?
deed has a clause to it written by you guys that nothing can be built there. It has to be adjoined to the building across the street who the owner built that building.
Okay, you can put that on in evidence. You can ask him the question if he is aware of that.
Are you aware of that?
Aware of what exactly? What exactly is the question? Am I aware
The
of?
deed restricts any building there. It can't change use.
Uh-huh.
Speak into the
So-
microphone, please. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
It can't change use. It's the garage that belongs to, what's the number? 621 Hayes. It always was.
Do you have a copy of the deed? I could
Yes,
see?
I do.
Well, I'd like to see it if you could, please. Okay, okay. Let me see exactly the clause that you're
It's in here
talking about, and then
somewhere.
we'll discuss it.
I saw the exhibits.
Okay,
It's owned property since 1984.
thank you.
I own a lot of property.
Okay, so this is,
So before we go further.
Sure.
Do you have another copy? Is that the only one?
I'll present it. This is not a deed.
Okay, hold on. We're only gonna have one person talk, please. So bring that here, please.
this is not a deed. This is a survey or concept.
Okay,
Oh,
but we're gonna mark this as E1.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, you can read what it says on it.
Okay. Well, here, you can have this back and you can question him about this. So, sir, there are procedures here. I'm sorry I have to follow them, but you do.
But you
Okay?
have to know what it says so you can move forward.
Okay. But
And this
Ask
isn't
him-
adversarial. We're neighbors. So here, just take a look and read to me exactly what's objectionable on that.
Because I can't see this for.
He has dyslexia, so.
no problem. Would you like to read it? Or do you want to, sir, you are welcome to bring it up here. Point to me what you want and I'll read it. We're not trying to be difficult, but this is,
No,
are
we do.
accepting the document. That's why I marked it as E1.
Underlined.
Okay.
I didn't underline.
No problem. Okay, so what the gentleman is pointing to is a note
Mhm.
on a document that has that's dated June 13th, 1991. And it has recording information at the bottom that says 91-254.
Mhm.
And the note says parcel 2 to be a part and remain with the owner of premises number 624.
Yes.
We agree? 624 Shield Street for parking only. Parcel 2 is not to be used as a building lot.
All right. So that's that. That's on a plan of some sort. So we examined that with Attorney Deschler and with Chris Spadoni, who is my counsel in that regard, and I am the owner of 624 Shields, and given the fact that we have a public street that bisects the two parcels, municipal law to the effect afterwards had verified that those two parcels are separate parcels and can be used separately, and that any conjoined use across a public right-of-way was no longer valid after that time period. We sought aggressively.
All right.
Sure.
So explain. So when I'm looking at this plan,
Uh-huh.
okay, parcel 2
Mhm.
is the parcel we're talking about, correct?
Correct.
What is parcel
But
1?
let me step back. I assume so. I don't know for sure.
What is parcel 1?
Parcel 1, I would assume, and perhaps my neighbor would know, would be 624 Shield Street.
624 Shield Street is this one, parcel 1?
Okay,
No,
Can I-
it's this one.
Yeah.
624 Shield Street. This is Shield Street here. 624 Shield Street is over here where it says 624. These are the Hayes Street properties.
Gotcha. So when this subdivision occurred, this seems to be saying we're going to cut off parcel 2,
Okay.
parcel we're here on tonight, and it will be forever parking for 624 across the street.
Okay, can I add to this? The man from 624, he owned that whole parcel,
Okay.
all of it.
Yeah, but let's just take a pause real quick.
Sure.
Do you have any further questions for him? And then we'll move on to your statement. Do you have any other questions for the witness?
I don't know what to ask the witness.
Well, you don't have to. There's no rule that says you have to ask him anything, but this is the time when we're doing questions. If you have no questions, do you have any other information you want to present?
Yeah, that again, given the municipal law changes after the date of that I guess, subdivision. And we actively sought, Mr. Taylor and I had actively sought any sort of records or archives that relate, or city minutes or anything in that regard, and have been unable to secure anything, that the bisecting of Shield Street between the 624 residence and that garage invalidated any tied use or end use in that regard.
We'll put Mr. Taylor on then to try to explain that better.
Sure, I'm sorry.
No, but not now. Do you have anything else?
No,
wanna
I
add?
don't, sir.
Okay, so we'll accept the information you submitted, and we'll make it collectively Exhibit A1. And then we can move on to his statement.
Yes, can we move on to?
And take it out
Sure.
of order. We'll just
Yes.
ask Dave afterwards. I
Yeah,
think that'll
sure.
That's fine.
make things smoother. Okay. Do you want to explain to us, Mr. Erickson?
There's the story.
Okay.
I'm
Gentlemen-
sorry. Can you talk in the microphone? I can't hear well.
The gentleman, that's an alley. It's no special road. It's an alley. Come
When you say
winter
that's
time,
an alley,
come winter time, fire trucks can't
you-
get in any
You gotta
direction.
identify the street. When you say that, you're saying Shields is an alley.
It's an alley.
Okay.
Garbage trucks can't get around the bend. I'm a volunteer. Fire trucks can't get up. They have to bring the hoses through my yard to extinguish fires in the back. And I have an agreement with that. The hydrant is on Hay Street, right adjacent to my yard. That's what they have to do. Okay, come winter time, nobody can get anywhere back there. There's no parking. It's jammed in there like you can't believe. This is, he has cars parked there. There's garbage cans parked. I've talked to the police. I'm done talking. This guy misrepresented this property. I have a picture when he bought it, and then it
To the
went
mic.
right into the ground.
Into the mic, please.
And I usually don't get upset about anything.
Yeah, I understand.
So I kind of don't really care, you know. Yeah,
Sure.
I show some pictures instead of this up in the air stuff about, I have to explain it.
It's Deborah Dieter, D-E-A-T-E-R.
Okay.
And I reside also at 6278. So the property goes between Hayes Street and Shields Street. Shields is an alley, one car width. And our home is on the Shields end of it, but it was changed years ago. He's owned the property since 1984. Our mailing address, our address is known as 627 Hayes. It's 627 either way.
And I have parking for 5 cars.
Back part of our,
One witness at a time, okay?
Okay, so we're going to mark this.
this is what our
Hold
property
on.
looks
Let me
like.
see there. So we'll make the first picture
You may keep that.
D1. Okay, and what are you saying D1 shows?
That's what our property looks like at the bottom.
That's your property. Okay, we'll pass
Is that
that along.
this?
Is that?
Can you identify that on the aerial that's up on the screen?
Yes, it's
Three.
right where the arrow is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? This is what the
Confused.
property
Here's
looked
the
like when
garage.
Front
Mr.
of
Dandy.
the-
W- w- One second. Mr. Danny's allowed to see that too, Ben, just so he
Oh, sure.
knows. So,
I don't believe Mr. Dandy's been by to see the property in quite some time.
This is where they live.
This is our
and bring that
property.
back up when
Thank
you're
you.
done.
So Paige, so is the front door on Shields then your property? Your property?
There is a fence
Oh,
there.
there
is
We
your
do not
fence.
use it
Okay.
because of all the stuff that goes on in the alley.
Wait,
Okay.
where's the garage that
These
we're
are all
talking
Okay,
about?
well,
Here, right
only
here.
one person can speak at a time, please.
Okay, got it.
Where the cars are.
Okay, so,
Got it.
so what we're looking at is this is the back of you. This abuts the rear of your property.
Right,
Gotcha.
Shield Street,
Yep.
which is an alley. This is what the property looked like when Mr. Dandy purchased it,
That's why.
or
it's-
that's what is promoted, along with the,
Okay, we're gonna mark this D2. Mr. Danny, why don't you come up and look at
Sure.
this? And bring that photo so we can pass that to the board too.
Where's their front door?
and this is what the
Must be on the
part of the property, this is the 2-car garage that he plans on parking 2 cars in.
Okay, so this will make D3. Okay, sure. Where's that photo?
I believe I gave
Here.
it to.
Give me
my
that
neighbor.
photo. Thanks. Okay, these are D1 through D3.
This is what it looks like now.
Okay, so we'll mark the next one
He has
D4.
owned this property.
Hold on a
How
second.
long?
2012
13?
or 13, perhaps.
Mhm.
Yes.
These are all pictures of the property in disarray. He never comes by to take care of it. I assume he has property management.
Okay, you'll have to slow down. I can't keep up with you.
I'm just,
No, I understand. But unfortunately, I've got to mark these and we've got to, if you want these to be considered, you have to give me a second here. Yep, no problem. So.
that's the rear of the building, the
so
garage.
5 is rear of garage. Okay, and
This is
D6,
between our property and his. So between
Rear of
627 and
garage.
623.
D6, D6 between properties. Okay,
And there is no number on his. building.
D7 is,
That is the opposite side with a broken window.
Not here.
D7 is the opposite side. Okay,
This is also that opposite side with tires
Right
laying
side
out.
of the garage.
okay,
This is the truck that's parked there, which he claims to not know who it belongs to. It's been there for 6 years at least. And the children in the area climb on it. They try to use it to climb over our fence. They play hide and seek around it. It's got all kinds of stuff packed in the back of it, and there's tires underneath it.
okay. So,
I see.
He claims to not know anything about that.
all right, let's try to keep this orderly. I'm going to ask you both the same question.
Mhm.
You and Mr. Erickson, if you can each answer us individually. Can you go to the mic, please,
Sure.
Mr. Erickson, which is, can you explain your opposition to the conversion of this to a single family residence? Because I understand you don't like the way the property is taken care of now. Can you tell us if the basis for your opposition for being a house?
So you see all those cars there?
Mhm.
Well, there's about 7 more. It's not shown in this picture. They park on the sidewalks. They park on the light posts. They park on the stair. They park wherever they can. There's no parking. So what are you going to do? Provide more of the same? The police are back there every 2 minutes. What do you?
Oh, I wish they were-
I'm the only one that sets the peace over there.
but-
People listen to me. They don't mess with me.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble following.
So you're going to build a building there.
Can you let me finish asking my question?
Okay.
I'm having trouble following the connection between there's 7 cars because no one lives there and all they do is park their cars there.
No. They live there. They live in his property. His rental. Those are his cars from his rental.
And where's that rental?
Right across the street.
Okay, well, we don't know all these facts, so
Well, that's why I'm trying to give you some pictures.
I
Some
understand
reference.
that, okay? So the renters at what address are using that property?
What's that? What's the address? Okay.
624 Hazer Shields.
Shields.
Shields, okay, thanks. Shields, 624 Shields is a rental, and that is the property that was on that plan.
That
this
owns the
was
garage.
That plan reflects as being the parking for 624. Whatever, however
The
we'll
garage-
ultimately characterize that.
I'm going to say this. The garage was built illegally. It was built in 2 weeks. They never asked zoning. They never had it inspected, nothing. And there was a big to-do about it.
Okay.
And they all went to court and this, that, and the other thing. And the people that were paid off at City Hall, there was a little problem there because they were all in the military and they did this guy a favor.
Okay.
Because he's like the first guy that went up the
Well,
Rhine.
Okay.
We'll ask Mr. Taylor about the history, but candidly, at this point, if someone built this illegal, that probably is not relevant to whether it could be used as a single family.
I could have had it torn down. You understand? Okay, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
When they did that, I know all the laws. I know all the zoning.
Yeah.
I know the setbacks.
Okay.
The setback is 4 feet from the, no, it's not, it's 5. It's 25 feet from the street in. 25. So how could you make that mistake?
Okay. Do you have any documents or?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the zoning.
Can I finish my question? Do you have any documents that would show that this is not a lawful nonconformity, meaning the building wasn't put up permissibly? Do you have a document for that?
Excuse me, can you find any?
But it's not my job to do
No,
that.
no, no, no.
Okay.
There aren't
So-
any.
Okay. So, well, I'm just trying to ask you if you have any document.
Well,
And your
I have
answer-
permits.
Okay. And your answer is you don't have any,
Wait a minute.
you have no evidence of that in documents, but that's your statement is that it's not.
Well, that's the
And
one,
you're,
the
okay, let
one
me-
evidence.
Can I
that-
finish my questions, please? Okay. Okay. Look, I'm sorry. We're not going to do this. Okay. You need to just,
Well, I don't understand the logic of this. Can you explain the logic?
It's not the jobs board to explain the logic, but if you want to present your case, I'm
Okay.
trying to actually help you, which
Okay,
is
all right.
what evidence do you have that that building was constructed illegally? Do you have any?
The evidence is you can't find any permits.
Okay, that's a fair answer.
All right, that's it.
That's all I'm trying to get to.
All right, I
I'm not
understand.
trying to trick you. Okay.
Understand.
And your answer is I don't, but I don't believe anybody could show there's a permit for it. Is what you believe?
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
All right.
I'm a foreman.
sure.
When someone comes to me and they want to do something, I better see the documentation,
Fair enough.
or it
Okay.
doesn't happen.
All right. So then, Miss Dieter, correct. I want to make sure I had it written down right. What is your opposition to it being the request?
Privacy.
Okay.
Oh, she likes privacy.
Protect the tree that we have in the yard,
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
the parking. He's not able to care for the property as it is. How's he gonna care for, where's the construction people gonna park? How would he can't control the properties that he has. How is he gonna control this? Or is he just getting the variance to be able to sell it to somebody else?
Okay.
That's a common thing developers do.
He got the variance
yeah.
for Ridge Street, which is the next street over, which is a street.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave him the variance for that last fall, I found, and there's nothing built on it.
And the weeds are 40 foot high.
Those weeds are also. high.
Yeah.
I don't know how many properties you own.
Those are just so you understand. That's not within the board's purview. The construction process is not what's here. So the board can grant someone relief if they don't do it or they don't do it right. That's not the board's. The board doesn't have the board itself can't enforce anything like that. Okay.
It doesn't meet the criteria for,
Okay.
Anyway.
it's already not correct. And you want to build a house on top of it? There's 4 foot in the back, there's 3 foot on the sides. Did he have it surveyed again? Because he's counting our fence as being part of that 3 foot. The fence is not on the property line.
No, I moved the fence over to be gentle because the guy couldn't have trouble getting into his garage. Okay, it's off by about a foot. So,
Yes, there are other buildings on the road. They were built a long time ago when there wasn't as many cars. There was a lot more foot traffic.
my building is the oldest building on that whole mountain.
It would be more appropriate to be a parking.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Can we ask questions?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. What is this document legally?
Again, as far as I know, that is a survey that was, it looks to be signed and such.
Survey.
Yes.
It's not a deed or anything else. It's a survey.
It was, no,
Survey.
it was for the dispute. They had to get it surveyed to show exactly what the guy did.
But it's
And that's-
legally speaking, this is a survey.
Correct.
That's what I've got in my hands. Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
There's a better picture right there.
Mr. Taylor, so their contention is that this was created to be the parking for 624 Shields. That is their contention. If this is used, the parking for this garage, if this proposal is built, this parking now will be dedicated to the bedrooms above it. Does that make it so that 624 now doesn't have the parking it needs because it was approved based on this space being used as the parking for 624?
That would be accurate if that's what was happening there. Yes, and I don't know that that is or is not happening.
Okay.
I just want to be clear.
It's an important fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So do you, did you review city records in connection with this property at all?
I reviewed, Mr. Dandy came in about a year ago
Right.
and with this proposal, and I initially rejected it
Okay.
because it was a garage, it was garage, and also for the dimensional relief that he needed now. Also, the subject came up of whether or not it was connected to 624. That was looked at by, didn't come prepared with any of those documents with me, but that was looked at by the city solicitor, Solicitor Deschler, who works with the planning and zoning department. And he said, no, they were separate lots bisected by a public right of way.
Did
I'm
he
not a
consider what parking requirements were at 624?
I don't know I don't know whether he considered whether there's parking for 624 or not. I know that subject was brought up as to whether they were tied together or whether this was.
And we don't have a
Again,
letter from Attorney Deschler stating that or
I
anything
did not
like
come.
that?
I did not come prepared with that. No.
If I could interject,
Hold on.
sure.
sorry, guys.
No worries.
Did you supply a copy of that to Mr. Dandy, of Mr. Deschler's letter?
I believe so by email, Dave.
Okay.
Or communications to the effect that there was discussions with Attorney
Right,
Deschler.
it was communications between, they said his attorney, Spadoni, Deschler, my office.
The assessment records indicate that the structure was built in 1972. And just, we'll let you testify if you think that's incorrect. But the purpose of my question, let's presume the assessment is correct. Were you able to determine whether the city records would reflect that there was a permit for this to have been lawfully constructed, as opposed to just remaining a parking lot, correct? Because this shows a 3-car garage on the date of 1991, but that seems to be 19 years after when it says this building was constructed.
I mean, that's certainly a search I could do. It's not a search I necessarily did.
Okay.
I will say I did. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk out of turn.
Sure,
I would say I did file a right to know request for any records relating to this. I mean, Mr. Taylor and I didn't just come up with this or dream up with this. We've been working on it. I filed a right to know request regarding any records that may exist relative to this, and it came back that nothing could be found.
Okay.
And I know why.
Okay.
Mr. Bednar owned the property from 621 Hayes all the way back to the garage, which is now called 623 Shields, and the property across the street, 624 and possibly 622, and everything back to Ridge Street. He at some point split off the garage from the house. That area where the garage is belonged to the house. It's a 140-foot property just like ours. But along the way, Mr. Moitson purchased the house that is 621. The numbers are really off because their numbers were half doubles. So we're 627, but next to us is 621. Mr. Moitson owned 621, and that was because Bednar sold it to him. What you're seeing there is a dispute that they had as to whether the property was divided in half or if it was divided closer to the garage. This determines that the property was divided closer to the garage. But that garage was then supposed to be the garage for 624 and only to be used as garage.
May I interject, or I don't know when my time is to counter?
You can put on. Do you have anything else to say at this point?
Well, the only other thing is
Okay.
that I don't know if there was a structure there initially, like maybe an old garage that may have been constructed in 72, But what's existing there was constructed in 84 when he purchased the house next to it. And they were building it while he was renovating that house.
And I knew the mason. I knew he was working under the table.
Please, let's not, that is not relevant to us. So we really want to keep it to the facts, please. We're trying very hard because there's a lot of unknowns here. And there's a lot of, throwing out allegations is not helping you or helping us make a decision. Okay.
Do you have anything else? Anything else? Okay, so then we'll accept D 1 through, I think it was 9. And you would have the right now to put on rebuttal.
Sure.
It has to be about items they raised. We're not
I will.
starting from the beginning.
No, I'm not. Believe me, I get it,
Right.
and I want to go home too. So I've been here late before. So, but the first of all, I would say the Mr. Bednar in question is passed away, correct? Okay, he's long passed away, correct? That's fine. So, and the issues that you're discussing are of 40 or 50 years ago. Okay. You're talking about 1984, 1972. Oh, okay. You mentioned a mason. Who was the mason who constructed this, you said? I would not know his name. I was okay. That's fine. Yeah, I don't want to be
And
adversarial.
I don't think it's relevant who built it.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was just asking the question as
But I think what is relevant is you're saying you did a right to know, and the right to know
yes,
did not provide
any information
information
whatsoever.
So it is a mystery as to the permitting of this that we probably
Correct. And I
won't-
think that we're dealing with the here and now. Would it be reasonable to assume that if somebody were living in that structure, that they would be able to, say, better police it than somebody else who might? Someone is living in that garage? When was this? Oh my goodness, but it's a garage. I live in Hanover Township. I mean, and my number is 610-216-2787. You can call me anytime. We haven't
Okay,
cut.
hold on.
Okay, this is
We're
not
not going to have
helpful.
arguments over those kinds of
Right. I
things.
mean,
Anything else you think is relevant?
yeah, I would just have to say that we've done a lot of research ahead of coming into here and have found that whatever may be a record or dispute or whatever that is has been subsequently invalidated by current zoning or municipal law, such as to what Mr. Taylor had testified to, that a public street bisecting any property invalidates any tied use to the two properties. And that's
My question is, does the garage have a separate deed?
it does.
You didn't include that.
Was it generated? Was it just a generator? Or it's real?
No, it's a real deed.
Who's the name on
My name is on it, sir.
it? Who's the owner?
I would assume it's the Bednars from whom I got it from. I don't know.
Okay. I have a question for you though.
Yes, ma'am.
and it may sound tough, but were you contacted by these folks
Not prior.
ever before? You've not
I
been
don't
contacted
recall.
by calling or emailing?
No, the gentleman who owns
mail?
621 Hayes, who's not here, I forget his name, had called me and say, hey, the weeds had gotten high. So I sent somebody over to cut them.
So you were unaware that there were all these abandoned cars in front of this
I'm
garage?
unaware as to the effect of any cars that are there. I have also called the police frequently in that regard.
But there, I mean, I'm talking. So this is your property.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's all these abandoned cars for 6 years, but you weren't aware of this?
No, I mean, there have been cars that have been there and have come and gone. And I've contacted the police multiple times to get vehicles moved out of there and
Were
so
they
on and so
moved away? Because that truck looks like it's been sitting there for years.
Right. No, I don't know with regard to that specific truck. I mean, I'll go over there after this and verify that that truck is there. And if that's the case, I'll have it towed.
In all regards, I think it probably should have been towed years ago.
That's fine, but this is the first I'm
Okay.
hearing any complaint there too.
Okay.
I mean, I have never been
Okay.
contacted.
Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, you got
Appreciate
it. Yeah, no worries. I mean, and if the board would like me to get it towed, I'll get it towed if it's still there. And
That's
Take
not
it
within
from-
our
No,
purview.
that's not, I
Our
just needed to understand kind of the dynamic
Sure.
a bit more.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
And we'll go off the record.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming back up.
Okay, we're back in session. Would one of the board members like to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to motion to deny the variance basis on the failure to provide sufficient information and allow the board to determine that the variance standard was met.
I'll second.
Ms. Wiles Young,
Yes.
Ms. Joseph,
Yes?
Dr. Van Wert.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
You'll get a written decision that'll explain exactly what the board's reasoning is.
Okay, that'll
Okay.
be fine. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was
It's
denied.
denied.
It was denied.
But obviously, you'll need to continue to be cognizant because